So in this video, I wanted to talk about the uh, global car industry as a whole and what I think about certain companies and how they're modeling their lineup. So I think for American cars, the biggest influx of attention has definitely been on Dodge or FCA. It's definitely been focused on, the Hellcats and the Jeep SRTs. That specific lineup has received tons of attention over the last 3 years. And I'd want to say, based on that I think that Dodge is moving in the right direction when compared to other car companies. And what I mean by that is, like, if you take a look at Mercedes, right? Or BMW or Audi or whatever, but I'm just going to use Mercedes as an example. If you take a look at any of their cars, they have the base model, which comes with the standard engine, right? So like the C300, that comes with a 2 liter inline 4-cylinder with 200 some horsepower, right? But then it moves up the range. They have a mid-level performance model, and then they have their high-level performance models, right? Same for their mid-size sedan, right? They got the base model, and then they got E63's coming because they just came out with this one. But so right now they only have the mid-range high-performance one. Same for their large sedan, the S-Class, Same for almost all of their vehicles, minus perhaps the Sprinter vans, right? Their cargo. But if you look at basically any of their vehicles, even their large SUV, the GLS, you can see that it has a bottom range, a mid-range, and a very upper echelon range. So what I think about this specific model is I think that this is the best way to model a lineup if you want to sell cars, because the fact of the matter is that you have all types of people who want to buy a certain type of car and want something different out of it. You know what I mean? You might have, take the GLS for example, you might have somebody that wants it just as a large vehicle to carry passengers. You might have somebody who wants it for that, but they also want a little bit more luxury. The whole point is offering them choice. You know what I mean? That a different customer who wants the same car might want the fast one. They might want to put a big engine in it. Why? Because they have money and they can. Now, if you take a look at Chevrolet, which I think kind of has the wrong approach to a vehicle lineup, they have very well priced cars, but the problem with them is, like, if you look at performance, they only have their typical sports car lineup. They got the Camaro, they got the Corvette, and they got the SS sedan, which they don't really sell much of anymore, which is a shame because it's a nice car. But if you look at like the crossovers and SUVs, and you take a look at the big SUVs, that competes directly with the GLS. Why is there not one of these with a Corvette engine in it? You know what I mean? Even if you look at the Cadillac Escalade, the biggest and most powerful engine it comes with is a 6.2 naturally aspirated V8 that has like 420 horsepower. And, even the mid-range full-size SUV from Mercedes comes with more horsepower than that. And they got an even crazier one on top of that. But back again to Dodge and Jeep. What I would think would make this company, FCA, able to not only compete with the Germans, but just more successful over, as an average over the entire company, is that if they started building a performance variant or a luxury performance variant into each of their models. For example, they have the Grand Cherokee SRT. So it would be good for them to see them apply this same type of logic to the Cherokee, to the Renegade. You know what I mean? Perhaps one to the Wrangler. They could kind of make one after the Mercedes G-Class. But not only to that, but also to their other cars. They're doing that to the Durango. They have made a Durango SRT, which is going to come with the same engine as the Jeep SRT, which I think is a fantastic move by FCA. I think they really get it, that this is how you should model a real lineup if you want to be competitive. Because the fact of the matter is that, you can sell these cars in any form you want, and you can reach a broader range of customers by simply offering more options in every single one of your vehicles. The problem with Chevrolet is that Yeah, you know what? Like, let's take the Suburban, for example. It looks okay. It looks nice. It's offered at a reasonable price. So if I'm a customer who just wants to be able to transport a family of seven, including myself, this could be a fantastic vehicle for me. But, if I'm a customer that wants to transport seven people or wants to haul a lot of cargo, but I also want it to be fast and luxurious, well, I could look at the Escalade, I guess, but the Escalade's not that fast. And then I got to look at aftermarket, upgrades like superchargers and stuff like that, because they just can't compete. So, American car companies, you got to start applying this logic to your lineup if you want to be competitive, because the fact of the matter is that more people are going to buy your cars if you give them more options in terms of performance and luxury. Because, there's a guy who earns $40,000 a year or $30,000 a year that buys a Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger, but they're buying the lowest end. You know what I mean? And then you got people that earn more than $100,000 a year buying the Hellcat. The same logic could be applied to any one of these cars, and that just means you'll sell more cars.